I want to welcome some people who have very much been taking a real important industry at the moment. Now, the arts has been an industry that has been talked about by some throughout the coronavirus crisis, but when we've heard a lot about shops, about hospitality, this isn't an industry that we haven't heard a lot about. But last week, we heard some pretty devastating news about the theatre industry. So the ONS last week said that 3/4 of all theatres in the country were currently closed at the moment. And they said that 63% of businesses within the arts industry had lost 50% turnover. And the CEO of UK Theatre, Julian Bird, warned the Select Committee last week that 70% of theatre companies across the country could be about to go bust and 200,000 jobs lost. And so with such an important industry and such an industry to save, what better way than student activism to really get the industry back on the line and really provide something that'd be of great benefit. So I'm pleased to welcome a team doing exactly that today. I'm pleased to welcome a team from Students Saving Our Theatre, Josh, Sophie and Lucy. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. So if I could just go around to each of you, kind of tell me how your lockdown has been going and how bad it has been without the stage. Josh, if I can come to you first.
It's been all right. I'm currently locked down in Greater London. Been doing some reading, watching some films, playing a bit of PlayStation 4. Haven't done that in a long time. So yeah, it's been all right. And I've finished all my work now, so I can just relax until hopefully we go back next year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, I think it's the big question on everyone's mind at the moment is, are we going back in September? It's going to be absolute chaos. Sophie, if I can come to you next, where have you been enjoying lockdown?
I'm also in London, and I'm just at home with my mum and my sister. And I've pretty much been doing, I think, what most people have been doing, just, on TikTok quite a lot. I've been, funnily enough, a lot of the challenges that we have lined up for this campaign have been things that I've been doing at home. So I've been doing a lot of sewing, a lot of upcycling of clothes, a lot of baking. I have been doing a lot of baking.
Wow.
Yeah, not much work, which isn't great. But
I think we can say that of pretty much every student that we know. I will come back to some of the challenges that you were talking about there very soon. Lucy, if I can come to you next, how have you been? I wouldn't say enjoying lockdown. I don't think anyone's been enjoying lockdown, but where have you been throughout lockdown?
So I'm boring. I've also been in Greater London. So yeah, I've just been, I guess, just watching loads of TV that I wouldn't normally watch, catching up on series, doing lots of Zooms. I think everyone's a bit bored of Zooms by now, but yeah, just all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I feel lockdown has been an opportunity to really discover some great things that, some of it we like, some of it we don't. And I think, Zoom, maybe one of those things we can park after all this. But anyway, Students Saving Our Theatres. This is a campaign you three have been pioneering. You've been getting a lot of coverage. What's on Stage? Stage magazine, they all reported on your campaign over last week. I saw you in the Independent this morning. I must say that is something I do very much like. But talk to me a bit more about the campaign, sort of fill in those who haven't seen what you guys are trying to do and really why you wanted to do it. So I don't know, Josh, if you want to start off on that.
Yeah. So the campaign is basically, it's a massive initiative with, I think, so far 20 other universities. What we're trying to do is we're trying to save regional theatres affected by coronavirus. So each university is sponsoring a theatre kind of in their local area. So for Warwick, we're sponsoring Warwick Arts Centre. Birmingham is sponsoring like the Midlands Arts Centre and the Crescent Theatre in Birmingham. You kind of get the idea. And basically, the way we're going to do this, we've got 5 weeks of really fun challenges, which each university will participate in. And then at the end, we're going to have this big online scratch night where we'll showcase lots of like university students, like kind of theatre, art, music and whatnot. And we hope everyone come together and raise some money to help support an industry we really love.
Okay, no, certainly. The arts industry, of course, something I know from my personal experience. I've done a lot of amateur dramatics, both at home and I've done some at uni as well. I know how important it is. Sophie, if I can come to you next, really, about the campaign as well, sort of the inspiration for you, really, why you wanted to get involved in the campaign.
Well, I think when we first kind of came up with the idea after seeing, we came up with the idea after seeing in the news all the stuff about theatres having to go into an administration. And we kind of thought about the fact that even after the whole coronavirus pandemic is, hopefully gone or died down a bit, people are going to be very reluctant to go to theatres. There's going to be, people don't want to be in crowds. So we realised how much of a lasting impact that it's going to have on these theatres and on the arts in general, which is the main reason why we wanted to kind of get this all started. And we also thought about the fact that there is kind of this unused network of drama societies in universities around the country, and the fact that we don't really know that many people from drama societies, and we thought it would be a great idea to combine the two and use that as a way to spread awareness of this and kind of kick off our campaign with, as Josh said, these fun challenges, which all ends in the Scratch Night.
No, certainly. And Lucy, before we talk about the Scratch Night and we talk about these challenges, one of the things about the campaign I've certainly seen is really the emphasis on local theatre and obviously the work between all the different university societies. So why local theatre in particular?
Yeah. So there are a lot of theatres that we could have all chosen to support. And one of our main kind of criteria was that we choose theatres that are really struggling and theatres that have supported us as students make theatre as we've kind of been going through our time at uni. And basically local theatres have offered us that. For example, the Warwick Arts Centre is on our campus. It's local to us and they've been so supportive. We put as a society loads of shows on there each year. And also we're aware that kind of the bigger, more commercial theatres, such as like in London's West End, for example, there we feel more likely to have support from donors. We thought local theatres were the right ones to support on this. No,
certainly. And again, from doing amateur dramatics, it provides certainly a good experience, I know, for me to get on different local stages back home. And I know, having seen a lot of the shows that not just the Woods have done, but societies at MTW as well, Warwick Arts Centre really does a lot. Now, one of the things you've been talking about, let's start off with like the weekly challenges and the Scratch Night. That's been a thing I've seen a lot about on your social media. So, Sophie, I can come to you first this time on that. Can you sort of explain what these weekly challenges are, what they're building towards?
Yeah, sure. So the weekly challenges are what we thought would be kind of the funnest way of spreading awareness for the campaign. We don't want to just be constantly spamming people with a donation link and not really providing them with anything else. We thought it would be a good idea to kind of have something to push the campaign further and get more people involved, especially, being in lockdown, being inside, having things that people can do at home, from home, or just in their local area. So, for instance, the first challenge, which is the TikTok challenge, obviously TikTok has been something that has grown, exceedingly quickly during lockdown, especially. I think a lot of people kind of went to TikTok as a entertainment form, and we thought it would be a good idea to use this and use it as a way of kind of spreading the word to perhaps another side of social media that don't really know as much about the kind of arts crisis. And then our second challenge, which is the upcycling challenge, we wanted to it's not the upcycling challenge, it's the 5k a week challenge, 5k a day challenge. So yeah, that challenge we came up with, people can run or walk or even cycle 5k a day, just kind of promoting like healthy body, healthy mind, getting outside, and just trying to do that challenge. It's something that I think would be quite difficult, but can really make a difference. And then we've got the upcycling challenge, which is just to again promote saving the environment. I know a lot of people have been doing kind of online shopping during lockdown, and this is just something that people can do to contribute to saving the environment. I'm sure so many people throw away clothes each year, so we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of add this as a fun challenge where people can upcycle the clothes that they already own. And then we've got the I should probably know this. What's the next challenge, guys?
Learn a language.
Yes, we've got learn. Okay, yeah. So learn as much of a language as you can in 1 week. So yeah, that one we thought it'd be good to. We recognise that the British theatre community isn't. It's not just British; it's also international. You know, kind of reaching out towards all different communities, and that's another fun one that you can kind of apply theatre to. So you can speak a line of your favourite play in a different language. You can find your favorite word in a different language. You know, you can watch a play in a different language to try and learn some more of it. So that's kind of why we wanted that challenge. And then for the last one, which is do something to help your local community, we thought that's kind of in helping the local community, they can also help the arts. So it's kind of a two-way thing. You know, we want people to kind of branch out to other aspects. You know, I feel like theatre and people who really love theatre can be something that other people don't really understand as much. So kind of letting other people know why we want to do this, and in return helping our local community. And that's kind of where the inspiration for all the challenges came from.
No, certainly. Again, I get the sense a lot of what you're trying to do is certainly really spread theatre beyond just its traditional setting. Lucy, if I can come to you next, Scratch Night. This is another part of it. Talk to me about Scratch Night. What are you planning to do with that, and how is that really going to be a pinnacle event in your campaign?
Yeah, so the Scratch Night is kind of like our big finale, basically, for all of the challenges that we've been doing over the past 5 weeks, or are about to do. So yeah, it's basically a celebration of all of the talent and all of the hard work put in by students who are part of different drama societies from each of the units we're working with. And it's an opportunity to get their work seen by other people, seen by other students, seen by hopefully some professionals, where obviously they can't do that in person at the moment because of the pandemic. All of the shows that we would have been participating in, writing, creating, directing, have obviously all been cancelled. So we feel it's a great online platform for people to still work and produce things during the pandemic.
No, of course. And I get a real sense that a lot of what you're trying to do is about bringing people together really for the love of local theatre. Yes,
100%.
No, and definitely something absolutely amazing. Josh, if I can come to you now. Weekly challenges, Scratch Night, all part of a great project. But obviously for you guys, raising the money to save local theatre, that's a big part of what you guys are trying to do. So how can we donate? How can we help out your project?
So the main way you can help is we've got a crowdfunder, which you can see at the bottom there, and just donate any money you can. You know, little or small, every little bit helps. We're currently about nearly 20% to our target. Our target is £10,000 amongst 20 universities. I mean, it's pretty ambitious, but we've got a lot of universities, so we hope we're going to be able to pull it off. And we're, nearly a fifth of the way in, and we're about, nearly a fifth of the way through the campaign. So we feel like we're on track at the moment. Again, like if you guys can't donate, which is absolutely fine and fair, please share us on social media, and please try and send it to any of your friends or family who you think would be interested and who would be able to donate, because we want to give these regional, because we're sponsoring so many regional theatres. The more money we can raise, the more we can help each theatre, and the more we can help each region continue to survive and continue to put on arts for everyone.
No, certainly. Just out of interest, you mentioned the £10,000 target there. Why £10,000? What does that number really do for you?
I'm not an apprentice candidate, so I'm not so good with maths. But
I'm not even sure they're that good at maths, to be honest.
That's true. The £10,000, I think, it seemed like an ambitious target, something to really like. It would be a considerable boost. I mean, obviously, £10,000 split amongst a lot of theatres is not going to save our theatres. But what we hope to do mainly is also to raise awareness. If we can raise that amount of money, we hope that will raise awareness and kind of prompt the government and people higher up than us to do something with more money and more power than us to really help bail out the arts industry from this crisis. It's raising money, yes, but it's also raising awareness about the crisis the arts industry is in as well, I think.
No, of course. And you mentioned there an important point there, both about the government and the support that the arts industry has had throughout this crisis. I want to come to each of you quickly just to finish off. Obviously, there's a lot of discussions about the future of theatre when it comes to things like social distancing, when it comes to when theatre may be able to restart again. So do you each think that the government has done enough so far to support the theatre industry? What more do you think it can do? So if I can come to you first, Lucy, what do you think to that?
I think there can always be more done. And I think especially right now, there seems to be kind of theatre has gone on the back burner. And I understand why, because there's an awful lot of issues to be sorting out at the moment. But theatre and the industry as a whole in the UK is massive, and it brings in so much money to the UK economy, as well as giving people a really big sense of escapism and an enjoyment, and something that fulfills a lot of people in their lives. So I think to lose it would just be horrific. And I really hope the government will start to do more and really start supporting the theatres that need it.
Okay, Josh, if I can come to you with the same question.
Yeah, I think the government could definitely do a lot more. From people I've spoken to in the industry, I feel like the support has been minimal. And I don't think it's just, I think the government in general, I mean, it's a bit of a big statement. I think the government in general has been a bit lacking when it comes to supporting not just theatre, but lots of other issues that are going on right now. I think the government's been really lacking in their kind of outward support for lots of issues right now. And I think a lot more needs to be done. So when we come out of this crisis, we can kind of look back and say, there's a Twilight Zone episode, right? I'm going on a tangent here, but I promise I'm going to come back to the point. There's a Twilight Zone episode where there's like these people think they're going to die. There's going to be a nuclear war is going to break out. They start having this argument. They start kind of showing them their true selves. What they didn't realize is it was a hoax. And when they look back on themselves, they can never look at themselves in the same way again after having gone through a crisis. And what I want is us to be able to come out of this crisis and be able to look at us and say, we actually did a lot of work and we tried really hard. And at the moment, with regard to the theatre industry and with regard to a lot of other important courses going on right now, I think the government is kind of not doing its best job, to put it lightly.
Okay, I mean, I'll certainly need to watch The Twilight Zone. I can't say I've watched it myself, so it's something I will take in keen interest when I come to that episode. Sophie, if I can get the last word on this from you, do you think the government have done enough with the arts industry, and what more can be done?
Yeah, I kind of the same as Josh and Lucy, don't think that enough has been done at all. We also have put on our page, our Facebook page, that a government petition about saving the arts and lobbying the government to save the arts. So that's another thing that people can do, even if they can't donate. That's another kind of part of raising awareness. And I think, yes, as Lucy said earlier, the theatres, kind of the West End theatres, those bigger theatres, they're not going to struggle as much. You know, they already get a lot of funding. They're the ones that do bring in a lot of money, especially with, kind of the shows that get put on there. But I think when it comes to theatre from marginalised communities and from especially like BAME communities, there's not enough that's done, especially by the government, to give them that platform and to fund them adequately, to give them enough of a voice. And that's definitely, especially something that we wanted to do with our Scratch Night, is to give everybody a voice. You know, anybody from any of the universities who are involved in this is welcome to submit anything to our Scratch Night. And that's a message that we want echoed kind of into the wider theatre community. There should be a voice for everyone, and that especially the more marginalised voices should be ones that are funded greater by the government. And that's kind of what we hope to achieve by spreading awareness.
Okay, certainly. Well, thank you very much for coming on. Just one last thing before you go, Lucy. Sophie, sorry. With the Scratch Night, when is the Scratch Night? And just a quick thing once again about donating.
The Scratch Night is on the 19th of July, and people have until the 13th of July to send in any of their videos. For individual submissions, they can be up to 2 minutes long, and for group submissions, they can be up to 5 minutes long, and they can be sent to our email, which is on all of our social media if you need to find it. In terms of in terms of donating and helping out the cause, again, only if you can, because I know, especially when it comes to students, you don't exactly have money kind of lying around to constantly be donating. But if you can, please donate at our crowdfunder. Again, every little helps. And I think, again, the greatest tool here is spreading awareness. So anything that people can do to share our campaign would be amazing.
Okay, brilliant. Josh, Sophie, Lucy, I wish you the best of luck with your campaign. We'll be following along. Best of luck. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Across campus, online, and on 12:51 AM. This is your student radio station.